If Eric does not connect his hands, this position, this quarter juji position, is perfectly fine to finish. I take his thumb up. Obviously, I take his hand away from the head and I start to lift and I drive down. You guys are advanced, so you're going to run into these different situations. How is Eric going to hold? A lot of people will hold palm to palm. This palm is up, this palm is down. Some people will hold this way, especially if he gets his arm underneath my leg. Sometimes his arm won't be under my leg. Sometimes he'll hold his elbow. It's the same basic grip. And some people will hold 10-finger grips. Okay, you're gonna get all different variations. I want you guys to understand that no matter what grip they use on the palm, I want you guys to get in the habit of taking your time here. The instant I encounter locked grips, I will get a figure 4 grip. One of these two to control initially. I will back heel and I will hold everything in tight. I want his elbow to my chest. And I will take that extra time now to go to full juji. I'm gonna have a lot more control. The only time I finish with quarter juji is when his arm's already straight. So now everything's locked. I'm gonna lean toward his head and just throw that leg over. That'll make that leg light. Now, what do we do from this position? You can cross your feet here. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. You can also just stay here, back heeled. I personally like to cross my feet. And we're gonna look at all the different variations that we can use to break these grips. The first grips we're gonna look at is when they're palm to palm. If Eric switches his grip, palm to palm, this makes no sense. There's nothing holding this hand in place. This is very easy to break. So he's gonna go the other way where this palm is up. And one of the ones I show all the time, and you guys can see this on John Danaher's instructionals, is I'm gonna pull this under my armpit, and I'm gonna go elbow to wrist. I'm gonna grip my own gi, and I'm gonna bring his arm across my body here. Now when Eric goes to hold this position, I'm gonna lean over his head, tight grip, and I take my time, and I start straightening my leg, straightening my back. Once this breaks, his only option now is the hitchhiker escape. As he goes to hitchhiker escape, because his elbow's here, turn, 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 he can't go very far. His elbow's on this side of my hip. Henzo showed this years ago. From here, I connect, and I connect. You can hold with your thumbs if you wish, or you can just hold here and here. And I slowly bring it on this side and lift my hips. If you really need braking power, this elbow comes up. You're never gonna really need that in the training room, or you never should. So, off that move, we're gonna start here, where his arm was up. I want you guys getting used to stepping up, coming down and sitting, and before we can sit back, he connects his hands. Figure 4 grip. Lean over the head, and watch my foot, it makes a small circle. Doesn't go in front of his legs. Connect. Hand goes here, and we're gonna bring that elbow under the armpit. We're gonna scoop inside of our elbow to his wrist and connect. And I bring his arm across my body. Now Eric's arm is starting to get weak. He keeps a good tight grip, and I lean, and I start straightening my body and extending my legs. And as we fall back with good position. Let's give it a shot. So Eric's on his back. We started in quarter juji here. We took our time to lock up that figure 4. Why the figure 4? Because it prevents the hitchhiker escape. It allows me to control his arm. To do the hitchhiker, he generally needs to throw his arm out. So he's controlled. He can't even do a hitchhiker escape, and he can't turn away from me. It's very hard for him to turn into me. This is basically a kimura grip. And as I turn, that came over. And what's one of the most important things to do here is to back heel. Okay, if your partner's wide in the chest and your feet are all the way up here, I will tend to bring my feet down and just maybe cross my toes, but you must be back heeling them in. You don't want that gap there. I want, ideally, his shoulder right up to my hips. Everything's tight. So if you feel like this is extending too much, no good. Pull it in. And again, you don't have to cross your feet here. We're gonna look at an alternate grip break, where I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna take this arm, and I'm gonna slide it in front. And I'm going to connect my hands. You can connect 10 fingers, you can connect here. As Eric keeps a tight, tight grip, tight, tight, tight. Yeah, it breaks right there. He's like, oh, feels different. It almost feels like you're putting them in an Americana. It's the same, almost the same mechanics as the previous one, is here and here. The only difference is I'm going here and connecting. Eric's tight grip. It's difficult for him to stop that because all I'm doing is taking it in this direction. I'm not leaning over his head so much now. I'm just kind of turning it until it breaks. So you get that kind of positioning. So once again, we're here. You guys could start from the quarter juji if you want to, or you can just start here, back heel. Here, here, and this slides in front and connects palm to palm. Tight grip. I start to turn it. It's a scissoring action on his arms, and you wind up with the same effect. Let's give it a shot.